Love at first bite with this keto caramel cake. Your taste buds will dance for joy and you won't believe it's low carb and sugar free. Tender almond flour vanilla cake with a rich caramel glaze. There are some recipes that just make me absolutely jump for joy. And this caramel cake is one of those recipes. It will make you jump for joy too, when you taste it. 2 layers of the most tender low-carb vanilla cake with a rich glaze of sugar-free caramel. Really, this is keto dessert heaven. And I don't say that lightly because I make a lot of heavenly keto desserts. I have a sweet tooth and I am not afraid to use it. Nor am I afraid to get in there and attempt to make a keto version of traditional dessert like Southern caramel cake. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? The inspiration for this caramel cake recipe. Why is it that this Canadian seems to love Southern recipes so much? Especially Southern dessert recipes. This keto cake recipe was inspired by the one from my friend's blog, Grand Baby Cakes. Jocelyn is a genius with cakes and other desserts and she's also a total sweetheart in real life. But I may really just follow her so I can salivate over her recipes and then attempt to keto FY them. Because inspiration abounds from that quarter. I actually made this gorgeous caramel cake recipe over the summer and served it at a small 4th of July gathering. So why am I just sharing it with you now? Well, the summer was long and hot and who wants to be heating up their kitchen during a heat wave? Am I right? But also I needed to get my updated sugar-free caramel sauce recipe in place before I could share this beauty with you. Which took me a while because I wanted to create a how-to video for the caramel sauce. And finally, it occurred to me that this is such a great keto holiday dessert, especially if you aren't a pumpkin or pecan fan. Tips for making keto caramel cake. The cake itself is simply an almond flour-based vanilla cake, although it does have a little bit of coconut flour in it for better texture. I find that these two really work to create the best cake-like consistency. Yes, the cake also contains protein powder. As I have said about 1,000,000 times, protein powder helps keto baked goods rise and hold their shape in the absence of gluten. You can use egg white protein instead. Check out my primer on the science of baking with almond flour for more info. Having all of your ingredients at room temperature is a must. It does you no good to soften your butter properly and then to dump in cold eggs, causing the butter to clump up again. The glaze for this sugar-free caramel cake is simply a double batch of my sugar-free caramel sauce, but you leave out the extra water at the end. This helps it thicken up more and become a spreadable frosting. It will be quite liquid when it's warm, so be sure to let it cool properly before trying to frost your cake. The caramel sauce isn't hard to make, but if you find it too thick or too thin, you can still rescue it. For thin caramel sauce, add a tablespoon or 2 of powdered erythritol such as Swerve confectionaires. For overly thick sauce, stir in some water while stirring over low heat. Just a tablespoon or 2 should do it. The updated sugar-free caramel sauce uses bokeh sweet, which is part of why it stays so soft and doesn't recrystallize. Unfortunately, because of the popularity of some of my recipes made with this sweetener, they have sold out on Amazon and their website is taking back orders. Hopefully they will clear this up soon. Use sub in xylitol or allulose in its place. See the notes in the recipe for more details. This is a rich cake, coming in at a whopping 388 calories and 35 grams of fat per serving. I set the servings at 12, but it can easily extend to 16, especially if you serve it with a little keto vanilla ice cream. Honestly, this sugar-free caramel cake is so good, it might just leave you speechless. Sometimes I amaze even myself. And that's a very good thing.